Hi YouTube, Autumn Beckman here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I have a Q&A for you. This is the second one I've done. The first one I feel like I rambled on about all the questions, so I'm going to try to make this one faster. I've got 21, well, not 21 questions. I have 21 people who asked questions. Some of them asked multiple questions. And I asked these on Instagram, by the way, a couple days ago. Question one is from Jack Madden 2. Hi, Jack. He's over in Ireland. Jack says, Autumn, what's the worst hate incident you've ever had from your experience on YouTube, and how did you deal with it? That question is easy to answer. I have not wanted to discuss this particular comment in detail, and I still won't tell you exactly what it says, but I do have it saved. I think I have a screenshot of it saved in case I ever need it. The worst comment I ever got was someone made a very graphic physical threat against my animals. I don't know why anybody would do that. It's pretty ridiculous, but it was very hateful and mean, and by far the worst thing that anyone has ever said on my comment section. And what I did, I don't respond to that sort of thing. I reported it immediately to YouTube. Usually when I get a comment where somebody's being mean, I don't report them, I just block the person. And not just if somebody disagrees with me, but if they're being mean and they're, you know, just being a jerk. It's not somebody I want on my channel, so I block them. But this one I reported because a threat I take seriously. Question number 2 is from Coco Meets Jagger. They say, I did your small YouTubers tag and met a lot of wonderful YouTubers through it that I may not have known otherwise. How long did it take you to get your first 1,000 subscribers? I'm low-key enjoying my channel's relative anonymity and our intimate little group of friends, subscribers. So I'm in no rush per se, but I am just curious about how long it took you. So I'm filming this at the beginning of May 2018. I got serious about YouTube and started doing videos regularly. I think it was last March of 2017. And let me show you something here, and I'm gonna go back to this later in another question too, but I've come to use this big book here as my YouTube book, and I use other notebooks too, but this keeps me straight. Back in maybe November or December of last year, I started tracking my progress of different numbers and things just to look for patterns and all of that. And I have my year in review here. I started making videos seriously back in March of last year, and I got to my first 1,000 in November. That was a total of 9 months that it took to get my first 1,000 subscribers. I can do a whole video about YouTube tips and how I'm using different strategies to grow my channel. That would be another video though. I don't want to get all into that right now, but it took 9 months to get to 1,000 for me. Coco Meets Jagger also says, and do you think your success partially has to do with Louis Vuitton at all being such a popular search topic? Thanks for answering questions. Love your channel. Thank you. Thanks for asking questions. Somewhat, yes. I mean, that's the only thing I've wanted to do a channel about is Vuitton, and that's because I enjoyed watching the other Vuitton videos or luxury videos. I don't know about if my success has to do with that. I mean, it has to do with other people liking the same thing. That would be the case in any genre of video that you do. The biggest YouTubers in this luxury space, like Jerusha Couture, she's been doing it for a long time. I think it's around 10 years or getting close to 10 years, something like that. And she's not quite at 100,000 yet. She does fantastic content. She's done it consistently for the time that she's been on YouTube. She's been one of the pioneers of this genre of YouTube films, and she's still not at 100,000, which tells me that's not a lack of anything on her part. That's a lack of there being an audience that's big enough for that. Whereas there are other YouTubers, Casey Neistat, who does vlogging every day, who have many millions of subscribers. So I don't know, I don't plan to become a big channel because there doesn't seem to be a market for that. I mean, if Jerusha is where she is after all this time, I'm not going to be able to get anywhere past her, you know. Question 3 is from Caroline Gatland. She says, hello Autumn, I'm from the UK. Very cool. I love talking to people around the world. What is the best product you use to clean your Louis Vuitton? Many thanks, Caroline. I don't really clean them. If I need to wipe down the canvas, I'll use either a rag with some water, being careful not to get it on the vachetta, or I'll use the baby wipes that are non-alcoholic and not fragranced. As far as the vachetta, I don't have a good answer for you for that. I really don't clean them. I have a horror story video about using a magic eraser. I don't really have much of an answer for you there. Lily LV, hey girl. She says, hey Autumn, here's my question. Which do you prefer to carry on a daily basis? An authentic luxe bag or one of the designer inspired handbags in your collection? And whichever you answer, why? Well, I definitely prefer the authentic bags like this one over the inspired bags like these two from Fashionphile that are Birkin inspired bags. I did carry these two this week, and anytime I talk about the Birkin inspired bags, I say that I really don't use those as handbags, that I use them sometimes as briefcases. I really don't carry them much at all. They mostly sit in my closet. I also have Chanel inspired bags and Kelly inspired bags. The Kellys I carry a little more often, but only for certain occasions. They're small bags. I think they're dressier looking than any of the Vuittons that I have, like the Speedy. I think the Speedy is a pretty casual bag. I did carry these this week, but it was really only because we've been talking about them so much on my channel the last week or two. Why? Part of that is functionality, and part of it is that I'm, like I said at the end of my, what was it, the real versus fake versus inspired bags video, I'll link that below, that I'm still on the fence. Like I like the bags, the inspired bags. I obviously don't have a problem with buying them, and I don't have a problem with wearing them. I do also see that they are on the edge of being replica fake bags because they do look identical to the originals. They're not as inspired as some other bags are. I feel like that deserves a whole video too. Like, it's a longer answer than I can give here. Person number 5 who asked a question is Go Be a Girl. She says, hi Autumn, hi, love your channel, thank you. I'm finally getting my very first LV this weekend. That's awesome. It's a Neverfull PM in the monogram, and she's pre-loved. I'm very excited because Vachetta is already golden. My question for you is, which do you prefer, getting something already golden or buying brand new? It depends. Most of the time, I do prefer getting one that already has patina. When I have something that already has some patina on it, I'm a little less careful about it. Like yesterday, I wore this bag and there was a little bit of rain in the forecast and I wore it anyway. Whereas with my Turenne, which was purchased brand new last year and still is pretty white, the vachetta is still pretty white. That one, if there's any chance of rain, I do not take it out. I'm just a lot more careful with that bag, or more paranoid about it maybe. I don't know. I'm more likely to use a bag, and these need to be used because they're meant to be used and they're expensive, and like, why spend the money if it just sits in your closet? So I'm more likely to use it if it already has patina. I'm less afraid of messing it up myself if it already has a little bit of wear on it. So that's generally my preference, but every once in a while there's something that I want brand new in the store, the Turenne being one of those things. And that had less to do with the patina, more to do with sentimental stuff behind it. Next question is from I Love to Shine. They say, how long have you been with your boyfriend? We have been living together, but in a romantic relationship for 6 years, 6.5 years almost. We've known each other longer than that. We met in 2008, I believe. We were friends for a few years before that, totally platonic friends, and then it just kind of changed one day. And other question, are you planning to get married? No, we are not. Neither of us wants to be married. He's been married before, doesn't want to do it again. I have never wanted to be married since I was a little kid. And she says, or he says, I love your channel. You're very grounded and sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, marriage is not in the cards for us because we don't want it to be. Dawn Maria Dent says, hi Autumn, hi. What's your favorite accessory other than a handbag? You're always wearing gorgeous jewelry. Thank you. And I think that answered the question there. I was trying to think if there are any other accessories that I wear. I wear scarves, but I mostly wear those to keep warm at work because it is freezing there. Otherwise, I don't so much wear those for decoration because in Houston it's pretty hot and you don't wear scarves for fashion very much here because it's just too darn hot. So besides the handbags, I mean, I'll wear bag charms. like the luggage tag, and I have a bag charm collection video. But yeah, other than that, I think jewelry is the thing. I tend to go with kind of neutral colors and then jewelry. Really don't have any high-end jewelry at all, and anything that's very valuable. My turquoise is probably the most expensive jewelry I have. Most of it I get from most of it is just costume jewelry that's really cheap. I don't like paying more than $10 or $15 for a piece of jewelry. Something like this I'll pay more for on rare occasions. I don't do that very often. So yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. Next question is from, I think this is SoCal LA Rocker Gal, I'm gonna guess. Southern California, LA Rocker Gal. She says, "Hi Autumn, do you notice any quality differences with LV made in different countries? For instance, between one being made in the USA, France, or Spain, and sometimes Italy. I don't have anything from LV made in the US, but friends of mine do, and a few of them told me they think US doesn't have as good quality. Thoughts on this?" I would say that I don't have enough bags from the different countries. Like I know I have some US bags and some France bags. I don't know that I have any bags made in Spain. I'd have to look. I don't think I have anything from Italy. I think I have a planner made in Spain. The US bags I have, I think they're all pieces that I bought new, and those you don't have a lot of choice on as to where they're made, because if you want something new, you're just subject to what's available in the store, unless you have an SA that can call around and try to find something for you. On the Preloved market, you can shop around. I think one of the things that's maybe a bigger sign of a difference in quality is not so much where something is made as when it was made. We've all heard in videos, and I haven't done much research on this and compared my own pieces, and this is something I should probably do a video on. You hear that the older canvas was thicker than the newer canvas, that they've thinned it down, that they're using less leather on different pieces, and so that's something that deserves its own video. I don't have a good answer for you because I haven't done any research on it. Chateau Chic says, "What is your oldest and what is your newest LV piece?" And I love seeing how varied our tastes can be. Love your channel. Thank you so much. My oldest piece, so I took this question in two ways. I took it as what's the oldest as far as date codes, like when was something made, and then also what's the first piece I purchased and my most recent purchase. So if we're talking about the oldest piece I have as far as date codes and when something was made, that would be this bag, my Petite Noe in Épée Noir. And this bag, let me show you something here. I showed you my little YouTube notebook earlier. One of the things I have in here is a tab for my inventory. This is, I have like a Vuitton section, a Hermes section, a Chanel section. I even have an Fashionphile section just to keep track of what I have. So this is an example of my inventory page. So I have the item, I've got the description, like the canvas or the leather it's made of, the print, and then the date code broken down into where and when it was made exactly, and where I purchased it, and the date that I purchased it. My oldest piece is this Petite Noe, and that was made in February of 1987. And she still looks practically brand new. My newest piece, as far as when it was made, is my mini pochette. I got this in October of 2017, and she's a made in France piece I found at the store. This is one that I got new, not pre-loved. This one was made in June of 2017, so just a few months before I purchased it. Now, if we're talking about my purchases, my oldest purchase, my newest purchase, that would be these. My first Vuitton purchase was this Trevi GM. I love the bag, but I don't find it very user-friendly. I've done videos on that bag, so if you're interested in why I say that, I'll link that video below. My newest LV purchase is this bag, the Speedy 25 in Damier Azure. She's gorgeous. I've been carrying her a lot lately. Next question is from MyVal5, and they ask, where do you enjoy living more, New York City or Texas, and why? Texas, and that is nothing at all against New York City. It's just that I find Texas, for various reasons, to be a better fit for me. I was born and raised in Texas, so Texas is home. That's the biggest thing. There's plenty I don't like about Texas too. I lived in New York twice when I was in college. I tell people when they ask, you know, did you like New York? I liked it, but I lived there twice. I moved away twice. The big reasons I left New York and don't want to live there again and prefer Texas is, one was the noise. So I prefer it to be quiet at night, and it didn't matter where I lived. I was in nice neighborhoods. I was in regular neighborhoods. I was never in bad neighborhoods, I don't think. It was noisy all the time. The biggest reason is the pricing, the standard of living as far as financially, you know, being able to afford to live there. The rent is astronomically high. It just gets higher. The apartments are tiny. What you can get for your money is so much less in New York City than what you can get in Texas and pretty much anywhere else in the country. And of course, you're paying that rent in New York to be in New York. That has plenty of advantages. There's a ton you can do in New York and see in New York that you can't do anywhere else in the world. But I prefer to have more space. I prefer lower rent. Who doesn't? I also prefer having a car. That was one of the things I missed the most when I was in New York, was having my car so that I could go anywhere I want, when I wanted, on my terms, not have to rely on public transportation, not have to pay every time I get on a train or get in a cab. And I couldn't afford cabs when I lived there. I always took the subway, and then the subway would break down. Not that you don't have problems with cars and traffic and stuff, but I just much prefer the freedom and the isolation too of having my own car and not being on a train with who knows how many people. It could be no one else on your car. It could be you're packed like sardines and it stinks, and there are all kinds of issues. There are good things and bad things about all of these. I love New York. I'm not knocking New York at all. But I prefer to have my car. One of the big things when I lived in New York was I felt like a prisoner on the island, because if you go to the other boroughs even, it's harder to get around because there aren't as many trains, and I couldn't afford to take a car everywhere. I didn't have a car to be able to leave the city and go to Jersey or Connecticut or anywhere else and just explore unless I rented a car. And that's pretty expensive, and I didn't really want to drive in the city either. And then there are tons of toll roads up there that are very expensive, so driving is expensive. And then getting gas in the city, there are hardly any gas stations. Parking, oh my God, parking in the city is nearly impossible. I used to do road trips by myself. I would take my car, this is in Texas, I'd take my car and just go to different cities and get a cheap hotel and, you know, go explore some city, go to a zoo or go to parks and do photography or whatever I was doing, go to art museums. And I didn't feel like I could do that in New York. I mean, they have a lot of those things in the city, but I wanted to leave and explore other places, and I felt like I couldn't. Either I couldn't afford it or I didn't have other resources like a car or something. So those are the big reasons that I prefer being here. And then there are tons of little things, and again, there are tons of good things and bad things about Texas. There are tons of good and bad things about New York, but those are the big reasons that I prefer it here. Still love New York though. Wouldn't live there again unless I had a ton of money and could just buy a place and have like a second home there. But would definitely love to go back and visit more like I did last year. But even that is so expensive. Next question is from Mama Pow 33. I love your channel, thank you. Your videos are full of things I love, bags and animals. Love from Minneapolis, Minnesota. My question is, do you and the boyfriend plan on getting married? So I just answered that, and the question is a big no. Also, what bag would you recommend getting for your first LV piece? Thanks. So I'm gonna do a video on that soon too. I think I'm gonna be filming that today actually. It depends. I think let me do the video on that, and I'll try to get that up in the next couple of days, and that can answer your question better. Because not knowing you, I'm gonna have the same answer here that I would have in the video, and I want to explain it more. So stay tuned for that video. Sorry I can't answer your question right now. Next question is from D. Kane. Hi Autumn, hi. Do you feel that there are any challenges to being both a teacher and a YouTuber, besides perhaps time management? Well, time management is the biggest one, because if I could do the YouTubing full time, I would. Not that I don't enjoy teaching, I do. It's just doing both, doing any job and YouTube, and being serious about YouTube and trying to do several YouTube videos a week is very time consuming. Besides time management, yes, there are some other challenges. The biggest one is that I have to be careful about some of the things that I say and how I represent myself in this public forum, because I know that some of my kids watch my channel and some of their parents watch this channel. It's not that I'm holding anything back that's negative or wrong or something, or that I could get in trouble for. It's more that there are some personal things that I don't mind sharing with most of you, but that I don't want my kids to know. And the parents I don't mind so much because they're adults, but the students don't need to know every detail of my personal life. That's all I'm saying. You guys, I'm pretty much an open book with my life and my choices for the most part, and with most people. But there are some things the students don't need to know that. Next question, I'm not sure how to pronounce this. I don't know if it's Ada Brillo or Ada Brillo or something else. What website would you recommend to buy LV bags? If you're talking about authentic bags, the only place you can buy those, new anyway, is from the Louis Vuitton website, so check there, of course, but I'm sure you already know that. So I'm guessing you're asking about Preloved bags. I have all my favorite Preloved sites listed in the description below, so just click where it says show more underneath this video, and that'll bring up all the links to my favorite places to buy Preloved LV. LV Carrie of the Berries asks, what has been the greatest surprise since starting your channel, good or bad? There are two things that come to mind in answer to this question. One is some of the negative comments and how nasty people can be, and I don't get those very often at all. I'm pretty lucky on my channel. There was one video that I was getting a lot of those things on, and I have stopped the commenting on that video. I've turned off commenting on that video, and I hardly get any negative comments anymore. Sometimes I'll post a topic that I know is going to be a little controversial, like inspired bags, and I know I'll get a little bit of backlash from that. That's fine because I'm expecting it, as long as they're not personal attacks. There was one person that did some personal attacks on a video recently, and I left that up so y'all could see it. Usually I just block those people. That one I left up. I'd say though that the biggest surprise is that I got any subscribers at all. And now I have over 4,000, and I think I might hit 5,000 this month, which is my next goal. And then it's 10,000, and then it's the world. That's what I told a friend recently. I don't know. I knew that I wanted to start my channel because I felt like I had some information that I hadn't seen elsewhere in the luxury community on these videos that would be helpful, informative to some other people, because there are things that I was looking for videos on and I couldn't find videos, so I wanted to be able to make that content for other people who are looking for that information. I knew that there would be people who would find my videos helpful. I did not expect to have as many people subscribe as I've had. Like, I didn't have huge growth right away, but just getting any, like getting 1 was awesome, getting 10 was awesome, getting 100, getting 1,000, it's all just really cool. There are this many people that are interested in watching my channel, and not just in the content, but watching my channel specifically because there are so many options. So that's really cool. And oh, and then talking to people from all over the world, that's always been my favorite thing. I was surprised at how wide-reaching my videos are, and that's just incredible to me. That's one of the big surprises too. So those are 3 things. Holly Patino asks, she says, I love your channel. I learned so much from your videos. Thank you. That is what I strive for, to be not an educational channel, but an informative channel. She asks, how did you and the boyfriend meet? We met in 2008. I think I said that earlier. And we met through someone else. We met through my previous boyfriend. Nothing bad there. Like, we didn't cheat or anything. The previous boyfriend and my current boyfriend grew up together. They were in a band together. They were in a few bands together. And the previous boyfriend and I broke up. He was dating somebody else, and the current boyfriend and I had been friends for several years at that point, and it turned into a romantic relationship. And within about a month and a half, we were living together, and we've been together ever since. It's been 6 years. Next question from her is, what is the age difference between you and the boyfriend? I've seen other people bring this up in other places. Somebody commented on one of the gossip pages. I can't believe there's a gossip page about me. That goes to the last question about surprises about your YouTube channel. Like, what? First of all, I can't believe that there are gossip pages on YouTubers at all, But then on the luxury community people, and if you guys have ever gone to these gossip, there are 2 gossip sites I know about, and I'm not going to link them below, and I'm not going to say their names because I'm not going to advertise for them. I Googled myself and I found this one, and there aren't many comments, but I was surprised that there was anything about me. And then some of the things people say are just so nasty. And then why not, if you have something to say about the YouTuber, why not say it on their channel? Like, why go to it? I don't get it. Why take the time and energy to go to a third-party site and talk bad about other people and take time out of your life to go through all that trouble to talk badly about somebody? I don't get it. And it's just about handbags. Like, it just makes no sense. Like, don't you have something better to do with your life? That says so much more about those people than it does about the people they're talking about. It's so ridiculous. But yeah, on one of these gossip sites, I saw that somebody made a comment about the age difference between the boyfriend and I. His face has never been on camera, but other pieces of him have been. And yeah, people have guessed from those videos that he is older than I am. There is quite a large age difference. Because of what I was saying earlier about some things I want to keep private, I don't want to talk exactly about the details of that, but there's a few decades between us. That's quite a large age difference, and he's older. Yeah, so there's that. Previous boyfriend was the same. I've always been that way, and he's not even rich, so you can't say I'm with him for his money. Next question she asks for fun facts about me. This is the one, so when I do these Q&As, I go through and I print out all the questions so that I can be prepared with, like, if I need to get a handbag out to show for something. This is one I have not been able to come up with any answers for because I've never thought of myself as a fun person, which probably sounds kind of sad, but I've just always been a more serious person. Not that I can't be fun, but coming up with fun facts, I think it's just the wording of that throws me off. I don't know. Fun fact, I don't know. I've been thinking about that for like 2 days and I don't know. Sorry. Also, what's the next purchase? Next purchase that I have in mind that I'm pretty sure I want to get and I keep talking about is a Chanel small leather good, some kind of little card case with a flap, but I don't know exactly what piece I want yet. And last time I went in a few months ago, January, February, to buy it. I was ready to buy it and they didn't have what I wanted in stock, and the guy never called me. He gave me his card and said, I'll call you when we get it, and he never called. And so in a few weeks I should be able to go into the store and get that again if they have it in stock, but I still don't know. I'm still a little bit on the fence. I keep wanting it, so I'll probably get it, but there's a chance I won't. Otherwise, as far as Louis Vuitton, I never quite know what my next purchase is going to be because I have things on my wish list, and since I buy Preloved, a lot of when I get something depends on when it becomes available, and not just that, but at the right price and the right condition. So that's hard for me to say what my next purchase will be. Next question is from Mampilito. I didn't have anything to ask you because I always watch your videos and love your personality. Thank you. But now I see this, which was the Instagram post, and I'll put a little picture here of the image that I had up for that. And she asks, are you getting the watercolor Aquarelle Speedy? Oh my god, it's my favorite. Oh my god, it's one of my favorites too. I love it. Isn't it gorgeous? Don't a lot of people. I looked at this recently. I've had my eye on that bag for years, and I will probably never get one because of the price tag. It was if you're not familiar with it, it's the Aquarelle collection. They have this white one. They also have this black one. And they're very hard to find because people love them, and the people that have them tend to keep them and not sell them. And when they do sell them, they tend to be pretty astronomical. So I was looking at them recently, and I think the ones I saw started in the $3,000 range and up. And I think I saw some as much as $5,000. So that's not in my budget, but I would love to have one. That'd be great. Holly Patino. Oh, you asked the questions earlier. I just noticed that that's the same person. I should have paid more attention. She also asks, I can't decide between the Toiletry 15 and the cosmetic pouch. How did you decide? Both are so cute. So I have my Toiletry 15 here. That is this. I don't have the cosmetic pouch. That's the domed shape one. For me, that was a very easy decision because I'd had some of the dome-shaped pieces in other brands. I use these in my handbags, and I didn't like how it worked in my handbag. So it tended, the round one would kind of flop around and then things would fall on top of it. I like the shape of this one better, where it stands up. So I have this in my mini pochette, and then I have my bigger pochette, the pochette accessoire behind it. And so they all just are more boxy and line up, and I like that a lot better. And then the dome shape one has a wider base than the Toiletry 15, so it ends up taking up more space in the bag too. And the dome shape ones are bigger, they hold a lot more than the 15. But I needed a smaller piece. So for me, that was an easy decision just because of the shape of them. I don't know what you're going for, so I can't recommend based on that. I think they're really beautiful. If I had a use for it, I would definitely get one, but I haven't found that I've needed one yet at all. So I love my little 15. It's a great piece if you're thinking about it. Happy Life, Healthy Life asks, she has a few questions. I'm wanting some twillies. Are they worth the money? Let me go ahead and ask all the questions here because some of them tie together. Have you ever worn them as a headband? I've not worn them as a headband because they are very silky because they're made of silk, and they just slip off my hair. My hair is really fine. And I've also, any kind of headband, even one that's not slippery, doesn't stay on my head. They always fall off. So no, I haven't worn them as a headband, but if you can make it work for you, that's very cute. Can you compare LV and Hermes? Yes, I do think they're worth the money, and I need to do a video on this, so I'm not gonna compare them for you right now, but I have, let me show you a few pieces here. This LV one, I'm just gonna show you what I have and not really talk about them. I have this LV one here. I have another LV one that's the flower ink and the pink. I have this Coach one. I have this Dior Twilly. Love that one. I have this very cheap Twilly that came on an Ain't a Feel bag. And then I have these two that are Hermes Twillies. These are my favorite. Vuitton has a few different kinds of Twillies, different materials, different sizes. Hermes has two sizes. They have the regular Twilly like this, and then they have a maxi Twilly, which is huge. Dior has Twillies that are a little bigger than the Hermes ones. I think the Dior ones are comparable to the Hermes. I think Hermes is by far the best. I think of the three brands, of those three brands, Vuitton is by far the worst, in my opinion, as far as quality and craftsmanship and design and the silk screening. Hermes is just, if you find a video on YouTube about how the Hermes scarves are made, that's what really turned me on to them in the first place. The craftsmanship, the artistry, the detail, the process. I think of the Twillies and their silk scarves, but the Twillies are pretty much all I have from them in the silk collection. I think of these as works of art. I think they are gorgeous. For me, thinking of them that way justifies the price. So yeah, and there's a huge difference between the expensive ones. Like these are just under $200, right? The Twillies tend to run around $200. I think there's a big difference in quality between those and the cheap ones like this. I mean, there's a huge difference between this thing and the Hermes scarves. But I definitely prefer Hermes to Louis Vuitton by far, any day. Gucci has some nice scarves too. I don't have any yet. There's one I was thinking about buying, but every time I go to look at it, it just doesn't work for me. And I don't like their quality as much as Hermes either. But the Dior ones are nice. Those are up there too. So if you're thinking about it, I would recommend looking at Hermes and Dior before Vuitton or Gucci. She also asks, where is the best place to get bag charms in your opinion? I can't bring myself to pay $300 or more for one. I'm looking on Amazon but haven't found anything I'm in love with. Thanks so much. Love your channel. That's hard to answer because I don't know what you're looking for. There are so many different bag charms out there. So as far as some of the nicer end, the higher end bag charms, you can get the Louis Vuitton luggage tags. If you can get those in the store, if they will sell them to you, because they've gotten ridiculous about not wanting to sell those. It's so stupid. If somebody wants to come in and spend money on something in your store and spend $75, whatever it is, on a little luggage tag, let them buy a luggage tag. What is the big deal? I don't get that. But I don't get a lot of the policies of the luxury brands, which is one of the reasons I prefer to buy Preloved. But anyway, if you can get your hands on one of those luggage tags at the store, they're about $75, which relatively speaking is inexpensive for luxury. Otherwise, if you get them on the Preloved market, they tend to be 2, 3, or plus times that. So get it in the store if you can, if you're interested in luggage tags. Some other brands, Lauderay, those are nice bag charms, the little macarons. Those, I think they range between like 65 and 100 or so. They're hard to find though. And if you get them online, you have to be careful that you're not getting a fake one. I don't know enough about them to know the difference between the real and the fake ones, but I know there are fakes out there. I think there are some fakes on Amazon, so watch out there. But I'm not really sure. I've just heard that there are. Do your own research on that and find out if you're interested in that brand. Burberry has some cute bag charms, those little stuffed bears. You've probably seen those in some YouTube channels a few months ago. They were really popular then. They still have those. The plain bears are $150, and then they add things to them, like they'll add a coat or the little red jacket and the black fur hat. Those, as they add stuff to them, they get more expensive. They have this little turquoise dachshund bag charm, which I would love to have, but it's like $400 and I'm not willing to spend that much on a bag charm. A lot of my bag charms are very cheap. Like I've gotten some from Charming Charlie, I've gotten some from Amazon. Henry Bendel has some cute bag charms, but personally I find them to be too expensive. I have a couple from them, but I only buy them when they're on sale or on clearance. Other than that, I'm not sure what to tell you. So those are the places that I've purchased bag charms from or have seen them that I like. Next question from Tina is Awesome 77 asks, have you ever tried out Burberry? It's one of my favorite luxe brands next to LV. Wonderful customer service, and their prices are definitely a little easier to swallow. Love your videos. Keep up the great work. Thank you. I don't have anything from Burberry yet. I want a scarf, but I'm particular about what I want, and I haven't found what I want yet, and I haven't found it for the price that I want it. I'm also kind of interested in one of the bear bag charms, but I don't know exactly what I want. I think I want something with a coat or one of the more playful ones that they have. When you get into those more playful ones that I like better than the plain bear, they're way more expensive than I'm willing to pay for something like that. That's all I've been interested in at Burberry. I haven't really given them much of a chance though, as far as handbags or anything. With handbags, if I'm going to spend a few $100s minimum and on up, then I'm going to go with a brand that I know will hold its value. I haven't seen that Burberry does that. When I've seen them on the Preloved market, they tend to be fairly inexpensive compared to prices of some of the other brands. So that's just something in general, not just with Burberry, but with any other bag brand. Since I started buying Vuitton, I've stopped buying anything else except some of the inspired bags. Next question is from Cassidy 800. Have you ever considered painting the vachetta on a very worn Preloved LV? I've seen videos on this, but I'm not sure. Your thoughts? Love your channel. Thank you. I have. I pulled this bag out because I purchased this bag pretty cheap. It was a couple $100s, and I got it to be a project bag. I got it so I could play around with cleaning the vachetta and not worry too much about damaging it because it's already so worn. This bag came from Japan, by the way, a Japanese seller on eBay. I also got it thinking that I would paint something on it. I haven't wanted to paint the vachetta, but I have thought about dyeing it, and I have a friend that told me that she would do that for me in town here. So I might have her do that and dye all the vachetta black, but I'm not sure. Every time I pull this bag out, it's more worn than I remember it being, so maybe at some point I will have her dye it. But I'm thinking of painting my dogs on the bag, and I'm thinking that'll be a project for this summer. And I need to watch some more videos on like how to do that, how to prep the bag, and how to seal the paint. That's a project bag, and I'm still working on ideas for it. So to answer your question, yes and no. And next question from the same person, do you think you'll ever want children or regret that you never had any? No. I've never wanted children, never will. and I will never regret that. I can say that with certainty. My last question is from, I'm just gonna spell it out, B3IEGE baby. And the question is, what person's, celebrities, influencers style do you like or get inspired by? That one I have given some thought to, and that's difficult for me to answer too. Celebrities, I would say nobody. I don't pay attention to celebrities. Persons or influencers. So influencers, I think of YouTube and Instagram. Instagram, I'm on there, but I really don't use it very much. And most of the things that I follow, most of the people I follow on Instagram are other luxury YouTubers, and they tend to post pictures of bags and not outfits so much. So as far as that kind of style, I don't feel like I really get any influence from there. And then people, I don't know, I just don't pay that much attention to other people's style. And yeah, I just kind of buy what I like. There have been instances where I'll pick up something from the costume design on a TV show or a movie. The example that I can think of in particular is The Good Wife, and I don't remember the actress's name, Christine something, Baranski, is that her? Her character on that show would wear like a collared shirt that would be open on the top, and then she'd have a big statement necklace underneath that. And I remember from that point I'd always wear my necklaces on top of my shirts, but then I started wearing the shirt over the necklace where the big statement, it could be just like big pearls, or it could be some bright color that contrasts with the outfit. It's just sort of hidden. It's like a little peekaboo necklace thing. So I started doing that, and I've done that ever since. I got that directly from that show and the costume design on that show. I would say that's not a celebrity influence because the celebrity didn't come up with that look. It was from the designer on the show. That's the only example I've been able to think of. And I guess the only other thing would be watching some videos about capsule wardrobes on YouTube. I was pretty much already doing that, but that gave me some vocabulary and some tips. If you're interested in like paring down your wardrobe, that's something, or just, I would recommend watching those videos anyway. If you don't know what a capsule wardrobe is, go watch some of the videos about it. It's really interesting if you're into fashion, and I'm not even into fashion. I found it interesting, so I would recommend checking some of those out. I'm not going to link any below because there's this whole world of capsule wardrobes. You go find what interests you. That's it. That's the end of my second Q&A. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to the people who sent in questions on Instagram. I appreciate it. Again, some of those I have to answer with videos instead of answering here, so stay tuned for those videos. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. Like, subscribe, bell notification icon. Follow me on Instagram, autumnbeckman there. Have a fantastic day, guys. Bye.